Orientalism and colonization are interconnected phenomena that emerged during the 18th and 19th centuries, reflecting the complex relationship between Western powers and the cultures of the East. Orientalism, a term coined by the scholar Edward Said, refers to the Western study and interpretation of Eastern cultures, particularly the Middle East and Asia. This academic field played a significant role in justifying and perpetuating colonization as Western powers sought to dominate and exploit territories in the East. Orientalism, as a mode of thinking, involves the construction of binary oppositions between the West and the East. The West is often portrayed as advanced, rational, and civilized, while the East is depicted as exotic, mystical, and backward. This oversimplified dichotomy provided a framework for justifying the imperialistic ambitions of Western powers, casting them as benevolent civilizers bringing enlightenment to supposedly inferior societies. Artistic representations played a crucial role in shaping Orientalist perspectives. Paintings, literature, and other forms of visual and literary expression often depicted the East as a land of opulence and despotism. These depictions, rooted in fantasy rather than reality, contributed to the exoticization and objectification of Eastern cultures. Notable examples include the paintings of artists like Jean-Léon Gérôme and Eugène Delacroix, which portrayed scenes from the East in a way that reinforced Orientalist stereotypes. The impact of Orientalism on academic disciplines such as history, anthropology, and archaeology cannot be overstated. Scholars often approach the East with preconceived notions, interpreting its history and culture through a Eurocentric lens. This Eurocentrism not only distorted the understanding of Eastern societies but also provided intellectual justification for colonial practices. The belief in the inherent superiority of Western civilization, rooted in Orientalist ideas, became a driving force behind the imperialistic endeavors of European powers. Colonization, on the other hand, refers to the process by which a foreign power establishes control over a territory and its people. The motivations for colonization were multifaceted and often included economic interests, geopolitical competition, and a sense of cultural and racial superiority. The combination of Orientalist thinking and colonial ambitions led to the subjugation and exploitation of numerous regions in the East. India provides a stark example of the intersection between Orientalism and colonization. The British colonization of India was justified by Orientalist perspectives that depicted India as a land of mysticism and despotism. The idea of the white man's burden, rooted in the belief that Western powers had a duty to civilize and uplift supposedly inferior societies, was a direct outgrowth of Orientalist thinking. This justification paved the way for the economic exploitation of India's resources, the imposition of British institutions, and the suppression of indigenous cultures. Similarly, the colonization of the Middle East was intertwined with Orientalist ideologies. European powers, particularly France and Britain, carved up the Ottoman Empire after World War I, imposing artificial borders and influencing regional politics to serve their interests. The Orientalist portrayal of the Middle East as a backward and chaotic region justified imperial intervention, perpetuating a legacy of geopolitical instability that continues to impact the region today. The consequences of colonization were far-reaching, affecting not only the economic and political landscapes of colonized territories but also the social and cultural fabric of indigenous societies. The imposition of Western institutions, languages, and legal systems often led to the erosion of traditional ways of life. Indigenous populations faced exploitation, discrimination, and marginalization as their resources were extracted for the benefit of colonial powers. The legacy of colonization persists in post-colonial societies, influencing issues of identity, governance, and development. Many former colonies continue to grapple with the impact of arbitrary borders, ethnic tensions, and economic disparities that were exacerbated by colonial rule. The enduring effects of colonization highlight the interconnectedness of historical events and the ongoing challenges faced by nations seeking to overcome the legacy of imperialistic domination. In conclusion, Orientalism and colonization are intertwined historical phenomena that shaped the relationship between the East and the West. Orientalist perspectives, rooted in binary oppositions and Eurocentrism, provided intellectual justification for the colonization of Eastern territories. The impact of colonization, characterized by economic exploitation, cultural suppression, and geopolitical manipulation, continues to reverberate in post-colonial societies. Understanding the complex interplay between Orientalism and colonization is crucial for grasping the historical forces that have shaped the contemporary global landscape.